Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Goldfuss, I'd like a little bit more information about your agency. Maybe I just don't understand as well. Do you advise the administration on environmental policies besides the other different, the other agencies? Do you advise the administration as well?
Well, the National Environmental Policy Act created CEQ to advise the administration, so advise the president in particular. There are 11 components in the White House. National Security Council is one of those that you may be more familiar with. And so we're the Council on Environmental Quality, responsible for advising the president on environmental decisions.
Here's my question, and this is of great concern to me, because I just don't understand how it works, to tell you the truth, because I think the Americans have spent billions and billions of dollars improving our environment here at home. But I'm somewhat concerned about the fact that we're adding more and more controls for less and less improvement in our environment, while we're allowing foreigners to pollute and put out all kinds of greenhouse gases, other gases, pollutants, without any restriction on us, from us, and we're allowing them to outcompete us. In other words, our steel industry has gone overseas. It's cheaper to produce, ores and steel overseas in some areas that pollute like crazy. I've been to China, I've been to India, and the pollution there is unbelievably bad. But we're changing making stuff so expensive here that it's people are going overseas and actually making more pollution overseas. Now, do you take into any of this kind of economic reality into account when you advise the president that some of the laws that we're actually, by making it easier for foreigners to compete against us at home, are actually polluting the world worse than if we did the production here? I mean, I'm very concerned about this.
Well, Congressman, I would respectfully say that last week the jobs number came out with an unemployment rate of 5.4.
I'm not talking about only employment, I'm talking about competing.
Yes, but we are having a strong economic recovery now, and
I can tell you that the steel industry in this country is going down the tubes because of foreign competition. A lot of it is based on the price of energy to produce steel, which is a lot cheaper in China, which has no pollution controls on any of the stuff they do. And we here are trying to produce steel in a environment that protects our environment, and they don't have any of that over there. So do you take that into account when you advise the president?
I would also say that we've had an enormous energy growth in this country over the past several years that's really carried this economy, that's happened with these environmental rules and information in place. So these things can happen at the same time. We can have a strong environment and have an economic recovery.
So you're denying the fact that our friends overseas have an economic advantage over us because we are investing in our infrastructure to save the environment and they are not? You deny that there's any advantage to that?
I am saying that it is important here in the United States that we both have infrastructure that we build and we have energy development and we protect our environment at the same time. And the American public...
So we don't care what the people across the globe are doing? I mean, I'm asking if you're advising the president about what people around the globe are doing and they're not protecting the environment. We are working to protect our environment. We're arguing about it all the time, how to best to do it, and there's people overseas that are not doing a thing to protect the environment. And they're out-competing us because of that, in my opinion, to a certain degree. So do you advise the president about that and what to do about it?
I would say that we have, as the United States...
You do not advise the president about that issue. Is that what you're saying?
I advise the president on making smart environmental decisions, and we do that in the complex decision-making scheme.
Is the issue that I mentioned the fact that foreigners are not investing enough in their environmental stuff as we are, do you advise him on that issue in particular?
I would say Todd Stern from the State Department and members of my team as well, as we work
right, so I
with
guess
partners
that's a no.
around
I'll yield back.
the globe to have a strong environment and a strong economy.